Ziidi Money Market Fund. Ziidi. How many times did I call you? Ebu, come sit here. I will address you shortly. But in the meantime, this week has really shown us things. Someone joining Money Market Fund right now. And as I believe clearly that just the other day, like literally the other day, we were enjoying 18% plus returns. And now Ziidi is officially giving us 7%. Hey, for those who joined while there was some 17 or 18% on the chart, Ebu, show me your hand in the comments below as I welcome you to your favorite show, the Money Market Fund Weekly Review Show, where we look at how our money is faring on in various money market funds in the country and the fixed income funds as well. My name is Brian Otachi, or you can call me Tachi, and this is MoneyVersations. Karibu sana, na pia if you're yet to subscribe, please take the time to do that. Anyway, to start us off today need the Treasury bills kama kawaida, and this week's results as of yesterday suggest that I think we are finally moving towards a single digit return now. Ama ni aje? Even on the 364-day option, as you can see, it's at 10.5%, while the 6-month option is at 9.24%, and the 91-day option clocked 8.94%. And I hope you may notice that majority of investors will settle for the 3-month option, even if it has the least returns, like 400% subscription. Yeah, that's 4 times what the bill wanted. Of course, that shows that the appetite for longer term options is on its all-time low, at least for now, considering the prevailing events and peer maybe like wanting some freedom to make a few moves here, capture opportunities whenever they arise. So liquidity seems to be on the menu of investors currently. How fast or how long will it take till the money market funds also adjust or follow suit? Let's find out how that progresses shortly, since we've already learned that this is the biggest benchmark that we look at. And now coming to the United States dollar money market funds, the rates, or rather exchange rate, currently still remains relatively stable as it stood at 129.2 bob. Yeah, so but on the dollar side returns, mambo imechemuka. As you can see, out of all the 11 providers listed, only one had some slight, and I mean very minute growth, and that was Sanlam, growing by 0.03, but at least represented the chart with the only green available. Old Mutual will maintain at 5%, they are gray, while ABSA became the biggest loser, dropping below 5%, and also dropped down to the last position from position 8 last week. Still, 2 companies are giving us a return above 6%, and that is Etica and Kuza. By the way, these two have been very consistent on these positions from time to time, alternating, but it is very impressive when almost 2 years in a row a company can maintain consistency. CIC and Jubilee, as you can see up, they switched positions, but in general, the averages are still looking good over here. Now, let's quickly jump over to the fixed income funds and let us see how this week has been for them. Huku pia, Kuza and Etica led the pack once again and still remain the only 2 companies that gave an above 14% return. There was a mix between the greens and the reds, as you can see, but the reds were slightly more. Zimele had an improvement both in position and in returns, although small, but we commend it either way. And as you can see, now it is official that most of the fixed income funds are giving better returns than the money market funds. And for those who do not know the difference between the two, it is basically coming from where the money is invested. And as I had already told you, that opening more than one money market fund account in companies and that is not diversifying your portfolio, but someone with a money market fund and a fixed income fund has diversified their portfolio. If you already have a money market fund, you can actually consider opening a fixed income fund account today. Yeah, could be the same company or another company, to spread your money, and not only that, but also to benefit from the opportunity to get better returns, especially now that more companies offering MMFs are drawing southwards towards a single digit return. Number 7, 8, and 9 while maintain their positions as of last week. Let us now move over to the money market fund in the Kenyan shillings, penye watu wengi wameka pesa, and see how things look like. And to start with, the average this week did not have a huge drop, as things seem to be kind of leveling up, at least as at this point. But as much as the average is still above 12%, it did drop from 12.48 to 12.32%, which means that the downward trend is still going on. Yeah, for the sake of that person who has not been watching the previous reviews and updates, yes, and is probably asking themselves, yeah, why their company is dropping day by day, please allow me to bring to your attention that the drop is happening across board, and it is not unique to your company peke yake. Even though some companies are shedding their returns faster than others, in one of the groups where I'm in, there was someone that came up with a very good response to those who are afraid of the falling rates, yeah, those rapid falling rates. You probably found the rates at about, let's say, 14 or 15%, and right now they are at 11% or 10%, and you are so concerned that the companies are collapsing. Yeah, so his advice was try out and get some shares, yeah, where you wake up one day and the return is negative, and tomorrow it's in the positive, and eventually this back and forth will give you some muscles enough to handle the rising and falling of interest. Keep the main thing. So back to our chart, and you can see that 10 companies out of the listed ones recorded some slight growth, which is indicated in green, while all the rest recorded a slight drop, as you can see in red. I mentioned last week that any company that is still receiving good inflow in terms of deposits and new clients, they are definitely going to be showing a red come next week or the following week. And this is because every new money that is coming in right now is automatically going into low return instruments, yes, making the average at the end of the day become smaller than the week before. One more thing, only 8 companies right now are offering above 13%, as you can see, and only 4 are offering above 14%. While there is no 15%, you can see that Saiton still remains at above 16% returns by itself. Yeah, and this could be probably because most of their funds could still be in the old high return vehicles that were captured early on last year. Or there is very little inflow coming into the company right now, but we shall see how things keep going on. Nabo grew from position 20 to position 15 and also had significant growth in the return they posted. Another one was Apollo and Faulu money market funds. And for the first time, we had 3 companies, 3 with below 10% return. Another word for single digits return. And one of the latest entrants, because this has always been a zone for Equity Bank, is now Ziidi money market fund. So can I ask you at this point, please, Ziidi, why are you breaking people's hearts already? Are they going to hold it around this place or this level? Or are we going to experience a 6% return in the next few days? As you can see here, they had a decline from 11.27% last week to 9.30% this week. Yeah, and dropped from position 24 to 27 in our list. Well, I know I'd already explained this, why it is happening to them so fast, and there are so many people asking questions out here and even thinking that it is probably collapsing. The truth is that almost all vehicles right now are low return vehicles, and therefore the more the money is coming in, yet you did not have the advantage to lock some of it in the high instruments that we had from last year, then you're definitely going to have lower and lower rates at this moment. And this is the part where you need to remember that the main thing is accumulation, and that investment is not a marriage where you stick for better or for worse. Your mates are earning an average of 12% net and above, and you are okay making almost half that.
Do you need a therapist?
Of course, depending on your goal, you can use one money market fund as your wallet for the money you need to spend from day to day, especially this one Zenyazina charges for putting money in and out, yeah, and then accumulate in a good performer with good service for the mid to the long term. Then there are these people telling you not to save or to stay away from money market funds because the falling interest rates, or what. First and foremost, you need to realize that before you go out there investing, or let's say multiplying your money, you first of all need to have that money in the first place. And for example, yes, some options like the special funds, for example, like Mansa X and the others, still have potential for higher returns at this moment. And I will be posting a video on this particular one as an alternative. It is good for you to know that in order for you to have the money to invest in them, you need to have some capital. For example, right now, let me see by the show of hands. How many of you watching this already have 500,000 accumulated na imelala tu mahali? Or let's say, how many of you have 1 million na imelala? So remember, as we say, please do not despise humble beginnings. And for you who has already made some strides, ama steps ahead, and you have some money available that you can think about risking some here and there, please allow those who have started the journey, who are the majority, to first of all accumulate. Do not accumulate in a savings account that is giving you less than inflation rate, but be aggressive about fattening the cow, because that is what will give you the stepping stone to consider all the other options. But as it is right now, things are crazy everywhere. Did you see the huge drop in Bitcoin? Some people have lost almost all their money now. Yeah, that the Bitcoin has dropped all the way from 110,000 to like $70,000. But the greatest investors are those who make smart moves, take advantage of low tides, and keep going on no matter how the markets are performing. But when you're starting or do not have the luxury to gamble with your money, remember to keep the main thing the main thing. I will leave all the important links to open the accounts and such like on the description below or on the bio. But in the meantime, happy investing. I can't wait to see you in the next video where learning continues.